What's up, guys? Preston here from Iron Grind, and this morning, as you saw in the introduction, we're talking about button hijack. Now, there's probably a lot of times you land on different sites, sales letters, landing pages, whatnot, and you see some buttons that you like that you think would probably work pretty good with design or layout that you're working on your own site or your own sales letter. So what I'm going to show you really quick is how you can take a button and basically change the call to action that's on it. And in some respects, you can change the color a little bit depending on what type of blending options have been placed on the button. I can show you how to do that. But real quick, what I want to do is just find a button here that you typically see. We see a lot of these in sales letters. Looking for one. There we go. Here's one right here. Everyone's seen this button. This button is quite popular. What we'll do is just to show you real quickly, we will click and we will copy the image. Let's see if it's got that option. Yep, copy image. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go over here and open Photoshop, and we're going to do File, New, 72 screen resolution. We're in RGB color space, and here are the dimensions of the button, 359 by 137. So we're going to go ahead and say Click New. Okay. Now, as you can see, we have basically our working canvas, and here's the size of the button. And when we paste it in there, it'll completely fill this. But what I want to show you is what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, we're going to create a new layer to paste this into. And I'm on a Mac, so I'm going to do Butterfly V, and there's our button. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're basically going to go inside of this button and we're going to copy the background and we are going to extend it so that we're able to cover up the call to action text. So watch, this is really, really simple. So I'm going to bring over my tools here so you can see what we're doing, and I'll zoom in on the screen. So what we're going to do is we're going to select our layer, and we are going to simply take the marquee tool here, and we're just going to grab this area about right here, okay? And then what we're going to do is we are going to, again, we're going to copy this, okay? So we're basically going to copy this little portion right here, and we're going to go create a new layer and paste it into that new layer. So let's go create new layer. It's selected, okay? So we're going to go back here, and we're going to select the button that we're working in right here, okay? This is button. And what we're going to do is we're going to, I'm on the Mac again, so I'm on Butterfly C. And then we're going to go up here to our new layer, and we're going to Butterfly V it. I have to keep looking down because I got my mask on here. All right, Butterfly V. All right. So if we turn this layer off, you can see there it is right there. There's the new little gradient piece that we copied and pasted on top of the button. And all we're going to do is we're going to go up to Edit, and we're going to go to Transform and Scale. And then all you're going to do is you're going to grab on the right side, and you're just going to pull almost like a sheet or a cover on a bed. You're just going to pull it right over, and we're going to cover that up. Then what we're going to do is we're going to click here, and we are going to say Apply. Now you can see we have a fresh button right here. We can change the text on top. We can change the text color. We can do all kinds of stuff now. So let's go a little bit further into this button hijack. And what we're going to do is we're going to start another layer. We're going to use text, and we're going to start with a white font. I love Myriad Pro, so let me type that in. And I've got it set on bold. And all you're going to do is inside this, we're going to call this CTA for our call to action text. And you just click on top. Okay, making sure that it is the top layer because you want it on top of all your other buttons. And then we're going to go up into our text settings here. And we're going to make a lot larger text. And let's call this Get Instant. You know what? I am not typing correct at all. Let's try that again. All right, Get Instant Access. Is that right? I'm looking through my red lenses here, guys. Yes. All right. I don't know what I just typed. I typed some gobbledygook. Let's see here. Blah, blah, blah. We're going to increase the size again. And we are going to scoot this over. All right. So now we've got our text in there. I'm going to tighten up the kerning, which is the spacing in between each letter. And I'm going to go to a -50. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to right click and we're going to go to blending options. And this is where you can start doing all the styling for your button. You can put strokes, you can do different gradients, you know, if you want to. So we can look at some gradients that we've got available here. Let's see here. Let's find us a nice gradient. Let's go for, we have a red anywhere? Okay, there's a nice green. There you go. And then you can go to your stroke and reduce it down to 1 and reduce the opacity if you want on the stroke. You can do all kinds of cool stuff with gradients and strokes, you know, whatever you want to do. If you want to make the button look like it's kind of pushed down on the button, you can do a drop shadow. Go to normal. You can scoot your distance and your size over, and I think you can do a setting of 1. You can then reduce the strength a little bit of the opacity, and then you start moving around this little ticker up here until you get the type of drop shadow that you want. And if you want it to look like it's mushed down, you can start reducing your opacity and keep clicking around, and you'll get that text effect. There it is right there. So when you move it just enough, you'll get that that really nice sunken button look. We can turn our gradient layer back on. Let's see, what else can you do? You can do your color overlays if you like. You can go for like a purple. There you go. So there's all kinds of ways that you can dress up your text. You know, we can select our text here, and then we can go over to bold italic, which that looks a lot better, I think. Scoot it over, and there you go. So, I mean, you can do all kinds of things with your text, increase the size if you want. That's probably going to be too big. Let's see if we bring it down to 44. Let's see if that fits inside of our button. It does. So that's it, guys. You know, that's how you hijack a button. You just, as long as there aren't like any sort of curved gloss layers on top, that's a little bit hard to recreate. But as long as it's like this, with just like a plain gradient, you can just select that background, like I said, copy it into a new layer, extend it, and then it'll go over that call to action text, and you can put whatever you want there. Furthermore, if you didn't want these credit cards down there, you could just go in here like this. Okay, making sure you're not hitting this blue circle that's on the button, just right under it. And what you can do is select it on that layer and hit delete or backspace. And you notice you got some extra white space here, so if you wanted to clean that up, we can just take this like so. And we can go to image, crop, and bam! That's it, guys. It's as simple as that. Go and save it as you will, JPEG, PNG, however you want to save it. But that is how you hijack a button, and you can do it on almost any button, as long as I say, like, as long as there isn't. Let me show you an example. It would be kind of hard. This would kind of be hard to recreate by grabbing the background and extending it, because when you start stretching a gradient that's got something like that in the middle, it'll leave like streaks in the middle of the button. Where's another one? I found it like this one. It's got this gloss layer on top. That's going to be kind of hard to do this method. Anything that's got these curves in it's a little bit hard. But you know, I mean, if you just keep looking, I mean, you can find buttons. Probably like this one would be okay, where you just grab a small sliver. If you can get, you know, just enough. It only has to be like, you know, 1 to 2 pixels wide, and then you just copy it in a new layer and extend it over the text, and then trim out the parts you need to trim out and add your call to action. That's it, guys. That's how you hijack buttons if you need to. If you find a button that you're like, oh man, that would fit so well on my landing page, that's how you do it. Of course, there's also, you know, free button Photoshop files all over the internet that you can find. Just search Google for you know, call to action buttons, ping buttons, PSD button files. You can find all kinds of free templates. But if you just find a button that you're in love with and you want it, copy and save it to your desktop. Open it in Photoshop. Select the main layer. Make a new layer. Copy the gradient over. Extend it. and then add your call to action text. That is it. It's as simple as that. If you have any questions, you can reach me at preston@iamgrind.com. And for more videos like this and more information about campaigns, traffic, strategies, building businesses, we'd love to have you join us over at our private forums at iamgrind.com. And you can just click on the private forums, find out a little bit more about that, and sign up if you're not a member. If you are a member, we're glad to have you, and be looking for more tutorials like this on the world famous iamgrind.com blog. This is Preston signing off. We'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.